Ciao, the Savone sisters here. I'm Rosanna.
And I'm Diana, and we're going to be cooking from our debut novels, Giacomo's Daughter's book club kit.
The recipes here are from Sofia De Niro's picnic basket. And so today we're going to be cooking roast lemon, garlic, and rosemary chicken, along with a very traditional Sicilian dish called canazzo.
And it's also going to be served with a Sicilian red wine, minus the poison, of course.
Yes. Are you ready to go?
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Here's the ingredients.
All right, we're gonna start with the roast lemon, garlic, and rosemary chicken because you need to put it in the refrigerator for an hour or two to marinate. So we're gonna get that going first, and then we're gonna go back to making the canazzo. So what you start with is a 4 to 5 pound roasting chicken quartered. Now, if you're anything like me, you do not want to be chopping chicken, so you can always have your butcher do it for you, or you could buy a lovely little pack already quartered for you. We're gonna do the marinade now, and the marinade has 5 tablespoons of freshly squeezed lemon juice. You're gonna take 2 sprigs of fresh rosemary, 2 sprigs. I love the smell of rosemary. And then we're also gonna do 4 cloves of garlic, and we're going to mix it with a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. So I always do a nice little roll, get those juices flowing in your lemon.
Roll that lemon.
Roll it! Squeeze the lemons. When you roll the lemons, it releases the juices, so it makes it easier to juice. Woo! Lemon juice. The recipe calls for 4 cloves. Oh, crud. On the floor.
It's all good, it's all good.
It's
got a cover on it. We're gonna take it off.
I don't know. I just can't do that. I fall on the floor. Especially with like this coronavirus, it's like all the germs. Like now I think, well, there was germs on the floor, and then if I squish it with my knife, then I'm gonna get the germs on my knife. I'm not gonna do it. Oh, Jesus. I'm gonna chop the garlic. I think that's about enough. So then we do our 2 sprigs. Get that rosemary right off the stem. You don't want to eat stem, do you?
That's what she said.
So then I'm gonna give this a nice little chop. One of the reasons why I originally chose to have Sofia prepare baked chicken was because baked chicken can kind of be dry. I don't know, I just was like thinking about like when I was a kid, and sometimes you just kind of get that like just a smidge dry and it make you kind of thirsty. So Sofia really wanted Max to drink a lot of wine. And I'm gonna gather that at your book club meeting, a lot of wine might not be a problem either. All right, so now we're gonna mix it all together, and that calls, I'm gonna put it in, oh, it says to actually put it straight in your baking dish. I'm gonna just start putting the stuff in here. We have all our chopped rosemary, all the garlic. It was like 5 tablespoons of lemon. And then it calls for a 1/4 cup of extra virgin olive oil. These are another one of my favorite gadgets. My brother actually told me about this, my brother John. Look at that.
It's a measuring cup made of silicone, so you can squeeze it. And then you can pour it.
Yeah, you can control your pour. Not that I necessarily have to do that for this recipe, but it just, once you use these, you just, I don't know, like this I end up just using for dry. Anyway, so here we go.
So look at that controlled pour.
You see you can do that? Oh, it's so nice.
Baby.
So I'm mixing it all together. This is what it's gonna look like. All you need to do is then put your chicken in here, get it all up on there, you know? It's gonna marinate. Guess you salt and pepper it to taste. Boop, boop. So now I'm gonna put plastic wrap on top. I'm gonna stick it in the refrigerator so that it can marinate for about an hour or two. The next thing we're gonna make is the Sicilian canazzo. The concept with this is it's a vegetable dish that they would just kind of put whatever that they had handy in it. So this is a pretty standard recipe, but you could throw in zucchini, you can throw in other things. So as you can see here, Diana is starting by peeling the potatoes. We're gonna use 4 Yukon Gold potatoes. And then we are going to have 2 tomatoes. And the key here is that you want to cube everything about the same size. So we want it to be about 1.5 inch cubes, both for the presentation and of course the cooking times. Peeling. So while she's peeling, I will be chopping. There we go.
Next.
Now, we did Sicilian canazzo because Sofia is Sicilian. So I thought this would be the type of dish that she would have as a side to the baked chicken. Easy to bring along in a picnic basket, and it's also something that you could eat hot or cold. Exactly. There you go.
I peel the eggplant.
So what we have here to chop are a yellow and a red pepper. Just chopped 2 tomatoes. And we have the 4 potatoes that I mentioned earlier. And then I also have the zucchini, which was 2 whole zucchinis. There we go. Now I'm gonna start chopping the onion. Now this is chopped, the way the recipe explains it is kind of like large crescent moon shapes. Oh, it's a juicy, fresh onion. I just start crying on you. Oh my goodness. Oh. The only thing we have left to chop is the basil. Oh my God, it smells so amazing. Oh, smell that.
It does smell good. It smells good.
That. So now the chopping is done and we are going to start cooking it.
You have to preheat your oven to 425 degrees. 425.
Okay, now that we have the oven preheated at 425 and our chicken has been marinating in the fridge for about an hour, I'm gonna pop it right in the oven for about 20 minutes. You see that? So delicious. So then I'm gonna put the timer for 20 minutes. Now we're gonna start on the Sicilian canazzo. I'm gonna start this on a medium-high heat. I'm gonna heat up the olive oil, about 3 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. Give it a little to heat up. Just coat the bottom of the pan. So now what we're gonna do is put the onion in there. Keep cooking those onions for 2 or 3 minutes until they're translucent. Salting and peppering throughout it. But now I'm going to add the potatoes. And again, I'm just gonna season every step of the way. All right, so the potatoes have been sauteing in there with the onion and olive oil for about 3 minutes. And now I'm gonna add the chopped tomato for about a minute. And now I'm gonna put in my chopped yellow and red bell pepper. Boop. Season again. It's looking so good. So now this is gonna cook for another 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so our 20 minutes are up. The chicken, the timer for the chicken just went off.
Okay, it says turn the chicken, coating them with the chicken juices, then reduce the heat to 375 degrees Fahrenheit and cook an additional 50 minutes, 50, to an hour or until the internal temperature of the chicken is 165 degrees Fahrenheit.
Okay, so I'm turning the chicken. I'm lowering the temperature to 375. It says 50 minutes, so I'm gonna start checking up on it in about 45. The bell peppers have been in there for about 3 minutes. Now what I'm gonna do is add the eggplant. This is a big pan. It calls for a cup of hot water and putting in that basil. Now, this calls to be cooked in a skillet. This is a lot of vegetables. If you have a giant skillet at home, or I guess cut the recipe in half. Now we just cook it in there and it cooks until the potatoes are soft, but not like flaking. So there you have it. All right, it's almost done. I just took the cover off of it to let a little bit of the water evaporate. And then again, you want to salt and pepper it to taste. So I'm just going to use a slotted spoon and put it in our serving dish. So the timer just went off. I actually set it for 45 minutes because I have some drumsticks in there and they might cook a little faster than they would if they were attached to the back. So I didn't want to do the full 50 yet. Oh, they're ready. They're more than ready. Let's put this in a serving dish and let's have Sofia's picnic basket. All right, so we're having a Sunday night dinner with the Savone sisters, and the canazzo, let me tell you, the full recipe is enough to feed your entire book club, so no worries there. The chicken is amazing. We also recommended about 3 wines. Of course, there's more great varieties from Sicily, but we picked 3 that seemed to be the most popular. We got the Nero d'Avola. This is like the signature grape of Sicily, which we're gonna actually have this for dinner today. We also suggested the Pericone, but I don't have a bottle of that to show you. But this one is the Norello Mascalese. So I apologize if I'm butchering that word or any of my Italian words. Now, normally, I know in the comments we're gonna have somebody say something about the fact we're drinking red wine with chicken. Right?
You're not supposed to have red wine with chicken.
It's usually you do white wine with chicken? Poultry. But this was a conscious choice on Sofia's part. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
We needed to mask the taste or any poison. It was a creative decision that it would be easier to do that with the red wine. And Max wasn't a fancy, he didn't come from...
He wasn't refined.
He wasn't refined, so I just kind of figured he wouldn't care. He wouldn't be like, oh no, this isn't the right pairing with the chicken. All right. Chin chin.
Chin chin.
Salute. I'm so excited. Thank you, you guys. I'm really excited. When you have your book clubs, please tag us and let us know how they went. We're very, very, just really excited about it all. So thanks.